In 24 hours, my app got reviewed and it got published into App Store. Now, hear my story, how I've done it, and if I had to do again, what I would do. So, let's get into the video. So, you can see this is my application which I am publishing right now, and you can see that it is published. And if you go into the app information, and if you go here, view app on the App Store, if you go, you will see that it is published. And right now you can see this is for the iPhone. If I want for the Mac application, I can go here in the Mac, and you can see, okay, I need to open this one again. So yeah, this is actually open for what, in the iPhone. So let me go in the App Store and let me search for this particular application, whether I can get it or not. So I think I should be able to get it. Okay, I'm not getting it. So let me search with this particular slug. Nope. So you can say this particular application, which is iPhone and iPad apps, my application is listed in the top because I'm using the same keyword. And if you go here, it is designed for iPad, not verified for macOS because it is using Swift UI, and it is actually built for iPad, but it can be converted to macOS Silicon as well. So if I open this one, it should open this application, which is you can see in the screen. And after that, I can write a review. I can give it 5 star, and I can write a review. This particular review will be given from my this particular account, which is different from the developer account. And you can see I can give information and all. So yeah, so this is how it works. Now, how did I do it? I've covered a YouTube series. So if you want to understand how I did, like each day I have documented my journey. So if you go into my videos, and like if you start with the 55 days keyword, from this day onwards I actually started it. So yeah, it iOS app, let's build iOS app together before 2025 ends. This was my YouTube video. From here onwards I documented my journey, how I learned iOS and all, so you can watch that. But if I have to give a real summary, I will give you in short. So I have shown you how it is visible in the App Store. Now let's understand, if I had to start again, what I would do. So I will just close the application. So prepare this one. So in my opinion, which is again against my principle, and that is I don't follow tutorials on YouTube because it kills time, in my opinion. So how exactly you should learn? You should leverage AI as much as possible. So right now you can see I am using a Comet browser, which is again by Perplexity team. You can use Dia browser, or you can use any browser, just use any AI agent inside it, and that can be ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity. For me, Perplexity has worked the best. Whenever I have some queries, I can ask Perplexity and I can choose the model I want. So you can again choose according to your own needs. So I am against tutorials, but I am also in favor of those tutorials which talk about practicality, which talk about practical tips, which solves what AI cannot solve, that is AI hallucinations, which happens with a lot of new technologies. So that's where the practical tutorials come into place. So for example, in my YouTube channel also, you won't see that I'm teaching you how to build iOS application, but it is more like I'm giving you code reference for each video. So you can see how to implement Supabase file upload. So it contains a code. And how to connect RevenueCat, it is a practical tip. And how exactly I have used AI to build my iOS application, it is again a practical tip. If it is a TikTok style video player, I have given the code and I have explained what exactly is the logic going behind the scene. So you can see that again, practical tip, practical tip, practical tip. So you can see I am favor in these type of tutorials, and that's why I made those videos. So first of all, follow those who talks about practicality and use AI to build your application. So that is the first thing. Now I gave myself a lot of thoughts for this particular topic, like what lessons I have learned and what I should talk about in the camera. But these are the few things, like the 5 points which I have like summarized yeah, okay, I will do this again if I have to start again, and this is what I will follow, and this is what you should follow. So first of all, start with any starter kit. So when I wanted to start with iOS, I actually didn't find any starter kit according to my own need, and even if I found it was very outdated. So modern starter kit I didn't find. So this particular starter kit which I have built, this is actually modern, fresh, and you can see how much, like 3 weeks ago only I built it. So it is very fresh, modern, and it contains Supabase database, then backend in Supabase, authentication in Supabase with Apple sign in, Google sign in, payments with RevenueCat, and file storage is also implemented. So it is a complete SaaS package in my opinion, which you can use if you're using Swift UI. Then second tip I would say is to use Supabase for your server. Why? So I am a SaaS developer. I develop Next.js application also, and in my opinion, having a backend which works with Next.js, also having a backend which works with your Supabase, like with your Swift UI, it should be common. And Supabase is very famous. And the benefit of Supabase is that you don't get vendor lock-in. You can use the Supabase open source code and host it in a virtual private server, and it will cost you less than what Supabase asks you. So that is the benefit of using Supabase. So you can self-host whenever you need it, and it comes with a simple application. So whenever you need to extend it, you can extend it with your different Next.js technologies, and you can use the same authentication, same authorization process in every places. So that is the benefit of Supabase. Now build the app as per app review guidelines. So whenever I build the particular application, I always I always have taken care of something called what Apple will ask me. So for example, Apple needs something called, if user is getting signed in, the user should be able to delete their ID from the app itself. So this particular application, the starter kit contains app delete process directly from Supabase. So you can see in the Supabase also, in the code, a delete code is also given. So user can delete their ID from directly from the application. So that command I've also given for this SQL in the Supabase. So this is very important. That was one guideline. Second, if you're using any social sign-in, for example, Google, Facebook, Instagram, or any social sign-in, you need to implement something called Apple sign-in. If Apple sign-in is not there, you cannot implement Google sign-in or any other sign-in. So that's why, again, in this particular template, I've used Apple sign-in so that you can log in. So you can see there is sign-in with Apple, sign-in with Google. So again, these two are important part. So build the app as per the app review guidelines. Now the app which I've shown you in the starting, that app didn't contain any payment. So I've removed the payment widget, payment feature, payment onboarding page, and the SDKs. The reason being, because this was my first attempt and I didn't want to get rejected. So that's why I thought, let's build a free app, launch it, understand whether I am getting stuck in my app launch process or whether I'm getting stuck in the payments. So I've got the information that okay, my app follows proper privacy, proper URLs, proper screenshot. It is built according to the App Store guidelines. Now, if I implement payment and if I get rejected, I will understand that it is related to payment, so I can focus on that particular problem. So it is better to build a simple application, submit for review, and then when it's get approved, you can work on the second version. So that is in my opinion is the best way to get started. Of course, it will hit your App Store optimization in the first, because when you launch the application, you get maximum visibility, but after some time, the visibility gets slower. But if you're building for the first time, why do you care about the visibility? You can build multiple apps in future to get the visibility. So that is my opinion. Now, the fourth point, use AI to build the landing page. So you can see I have given a starter kit here. So this is the landing kit starter page, like landing page starter kit, which actually is in Next.js. So if you open this particular application, you will find that I am using this like starter kit, in which you will find that okay, it has hero one heading text, then download from GitHub, download from App Store, download from Google Play. So I have built the same for my TrackBadHabits. So if I just open this one, again I have to link my App Store, download the App Store button and remove the Get It on Google Play. But you get the point. So it contains the logo, the app name, features, contact, privacy, terms of service, privacy policy. So it is again given in template. So I have given everything in a template format. You can ask AI to read the README So in readme I've given proper instruction what exactly you have to edit, and you can publish it to live in just hours or in minutes. So use AI to build the landing page, then use AI to query whenever you are stuck in the app store instead of tutorial. So what happens is that if I'm stuck in the app store, so for example, yesterday when I was trying to submit it for review, I've faced some problem. So I'm using Comet, so I can ask always, like I can like tag this one, and it will be automatically getting context, and I can ask how to solve this issue. So it gives me proper step by step guide how exactly to solve, and I can go and solve. And even if I get new problem from there, I can again tag it and I can get the information. So it is better than watching a tutorial, because you cannot find solution to each and every problem you find, and that keyword may not exist particularly for that particular video. So that's why AI gives you proper result whenever you ask it. And since these like guidelines are properly updated in the developer documentation and all, so AI fetch the data directly from the developer documentation and give you the pinpoint solution. So that is what I've done. And again today also, like whenever like I got the notification that it is ready for distribution, it was not available, like the app store page was not available. So the reason was like pricing and availability. Apple removes the pricing and availability. I have to again press the plus button, agree everything, then it will be live. So that was the issue. Again AI helped me in that. So that is the thing which you need to understand. If you don't understand the language the app store connect is speaking to you, then you can use AI to just give you the step by step process to fix that issue. So yeah, if you are stuck, just use AI to query whenever you need. And this is pretty much it. Like I don't have anything to add more in that. And if you just follow all my guidelines which I've given, if you follow the code, if you follow my advice how to use AI and all, I think it is pretty much it, and you are good to go in my opinion, and you will get it approved in the app store as quick as possible. So I hope it works for you, and I wish you the best. And it is probably like last video of this year on iOS, and maybe I will see you in future with new iOS update, but till now it is not my priority. So let's see how the channel goes in future, and I wish you the best, and bye for now.